We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Crime Syndicate, Issue 2. This is a 2021 miniseries from DC Comics, written by Andy Schmidt. Kieran McKeown was the penciler, Dexter Vines inker, Steve Oliff colorist, Rob Leigh letterer. I have the variant cover by Tyler Kirkman Arif Prianto, the regular covers by Jim Chung and Romulo Fajardo Jr., assistant editor Marquis Draper. Alex Card was the editor. So we get to see Owlman fighting some of these Starro creatures, and Oliver Queen and Superwoman are doing their best as well, and Superwoman is looking forward to beating on Ultraman. Now that fight goes on for quite a while and is pretty interesting. Meanwhile, Owlman manages to establish quite a bit of information from these creatures, and he knew something was funny going on, why they didn't go after Gotham City. But we also learn his origin later in the book. We'll get to that in a second. But Power Ring, or whatever they're calling him now, has to fight these creatures as well, and we get a really interesting cliffhanger ending. And I don't want to give too much away, but there is some crazy twists and turns in here that I did not expect. Then the backup story, which is really short and probably appropriately so, is an origin story for Owlman, and that's written by Andy Schmidt with Brian Hitch as artist, Alex Sinclair colors, and Rob Leigh letters. And it's not Bruce Wayne that's Owlman, and that was really interesting. We get to find out why he became Owlman, because originally he was a crime fighter, and some interesting things happened that kind of changed that perspective. I was interested in that. That was really well done. Brian Hitch's art is pretty solid, and both the stories had pretty decent art. The main story, I'm not a huge fan of this art style. Everybody's face looks a little weird at times. There's definitely some anime inspiration in here somewhere, but it was better than average, I would say. The backup story had much better art, in my opinion. I think it's just a stylistic difference, but overall, this was a really fun story. I'm not a big supervillain fan, so I had a hard time deciding whether or not to keep going with this book, because while the first issue did seem like it was going somewhere, and it was interesting, I just have a hard time rooting for villains. But this is really well done, and it's a fun reimagining of the Crime Syndicate from a basically evil universe. So I will recommend this. I thought it was really well done, and I will pick up issue 3. The backup origin story, which generally backups are boring and a worthless waste of paper, was actually good, and it's a nice concise origin story. I think they're going to do that for most of the Crime Syndicate, and that'd be fine with me. So I'm looking forward to reading issue 3, which is pretty rare for me with a supervillain book, so that should say something about its quality. If you get a chance to check it out, I would say do so. You might want to pick it up before the price goes up on these stupid books. With DC raising prices on a lot of their books, I'm probably going to be cutting a lot of books out of my purchase lineup. Hopefully this won't be one of them, but if it does go up, I probably will drop it. So until then, I would say check it out. It's worth a cover price, and that's pretty rare these days. That'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, share the video on your social media, get yourself something nice from the Teespring store, or drop a donation to the Patreon or Streamlabs. Those links are all in the description, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.